Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. No, it's not a mistake. No, I didn't get my days mixed up. Not at all. Um, I moved it up a day so that the people of God could spend time with their family and their loved ones. That is overwhelmingly important. And not just food, but the importance of fellowship, the importance of greeting one another and talking to one another and sharing with one another. Good evening, Carletta. Good evening, Cecile. How are you? That is what this season is all about. And so I see many of you are coming on board, Sister Thomas. I see the word got out. Okay, excellent, Pat. Good to have you on board with us. Um, and be careful in your driving. Doe, how are you? Carolyn, good to see you this evening. Minister Sarah, how are you? Goalie, hello. Carolyn Williams, hello. Valerie, hello. To you, one and all. Sabrina, what's going on? Linda, good to see you. Glad that many of you are coming on board and being a part of this experience. Sheila, I see you. Larry, how are you? Brittany, good evening to you. I see we're popping on here. Sandra, good to have you with us. Katrina Williams, how are you this evening? Our prayers are with you and for you, and we're going to watch God do tremendous things. Lady Harrison, bless you for being a part of this moment. Ethel, how are you this evening? I pray that all is well with you and yours and things are going well. Gladys, good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have. That's right. Please share. Please share. Please share. That will help us out tremendously on this evening. It will help us in what we're going to share with you, Laverne. Good to have you on board and good to know that the saints are together. Lori, you doing okay? Praying that all is well with you and yours. And thank you. Thank you for sharing. For those that are doing it, thank you so much for sharing. That is important. That is important. Okay. Very, 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 very important as we get ready to go through our midweek worship on a different day this week. This week. And Katrina, I'm not sure whether you can pin that or not. So if it does pin, that's fine. If it doesn't pin, I'm okay. But I think it will on the page. I'm not sure. Who knows? Um, Pat, thank you. Thank you. I see those of you who are sharing. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you so much, Katrina. I appreciate it. So I was thinking, Lisa, how are you this evening? Daryl, good to have you with us this evening. I see the robocall got out. That is fantastic. Minister Fay, good to have you. Sylvia Scott, good evening. And just grateful that everybody is on board. Doris, how are you? Myrna, how are you this evening? Loving how y'all are popping on here and greeting not only myself, but Lady Harrison and one another. The one thing that I am so overwhelmingly grateful for is to have a church that really loves one another. You don't know how that makes me feel. Laverne, and how are you this evening? Maria, good to see you. I mean, there are other people who marvel at union and its fellowship and its camaraderie and its concern for one another. I am so grateful for that. Sherry, how are you? Denise, how are you? A lot of pastors don't have that, where there is this kind of love, this type of fellowship, this kind of caring for one another. And I am grateful to God to be your under shepherd, to be able to have such a fabulous group of people. Hey, Gina, how are you? I Some events that take place and people of a different hue. Curtis, how are you? Okay, I see you. I see you. And so uh, they say some things that I find to be overwhelmingly important. They call us community. Christine, how are you? And you know what? And that's how it should be. We are family. We love one another. We get on each other's nerves from time to time, but that's what family does. And we go from there. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes because I see you guys are coming on in tremendous numbers. I'm grateful to God for that, and grateful to God for you taking that time out to be a part of this experience. And so, yeah, please share as you come on board. Please share. How are you, Faye? Good to have you with us in this moment. Okay, I appreciate that, Faye. Sometimes you wonder if people really do appreciate how much you do. And a lot of what is done, we don't talk about, we don't advertise, we don't brag, we don't boast. We just do what we do. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. UBC is a great church, and it's a poor dog that don't wag his own tail. And so let me see. I got 1 more minute to go, and then I'm going to get started. I'm not going to keep you long, but I'm going to keep you long enough. Bless his holy name. Okay. That is so important for us to grasp and to understand. Um, this is Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving, and talk about does prayer really work? This is Thanksgiving. I was noticing people are doing this last minute scurrying around trying to find something. Somebody put on there that they couldn't find any collard greens. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing the things that we do because we want to make sure everything is just right for Thanksgiving? Many people are, I mean, they're just doing their thing, trying to make sure that everything is just right. We're trying to make sure that we cook appropriately, that everything is seasoned appropriately. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Praying that you're feeling better. They go out of their way for those that bake. Your favorite pies and cakes that you put together, and you do what you need to do. Hey, Debbie, you do what you need to do because you want the people who are going to stop by your house to say, man, lady, you put your foot in this. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we do. You know how we do. We want people to know that there's an expression of love that they show towards you for the hours that you. And I know for some of y'all ain't cooking nothing. Y'all ain't gonna cook nothing. I understand all of that, but guess what? You're gonna go somewhere where somebody's doing some cooking. That's what you gonna do. You gonna go somewhere where you can have. Thea, how are you? where there's a great meal prepared, even if you go out and purchase it, there are only certain places that you're going to purchase that meal from. What am I trying to say? Thanksgiving is powerful because it causes us to do something. And so what I'm going to deal with on tonight and what I'm going to look at comes from Psalm 116. Psalm 116. It's a thanksgiving for deliverance from death. That's what Psalm 116 is dealing with. And when you look at that, there's some things here that I believe that we'll catch, that will captivate us and help us to see just how grateful we really should be. Because, sometimes when we come up short, I was listening to Bishop Clark. He's got an event that he and another pastor are going. Oh, that's right, Thea. You made it to Atlanta. Fantastic. Okay. Glad you made it safe. Our prayer is you stay safe while you're there. Okay. And that you have a good time. All right. And so he was talking about how to stay in the black on Black Friday. Because, after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. That's the day when folk camp out the night before 1-2 o'clock in the morning. They set up tents, they cook, it's all of that stuff. And the reason that they do so is because they want to get the best gift at the cheapest price. Okay? At the cheapest price. That's because you already have in mind what you want to do. You already have in mind who you want to get it for, all of that kind of stuff. But I need us to get away from turkeys and capons and ham and chitlins and green beans and greens and macaroni and cheese and all of those kind of things. I want us to look at something because I think this is something overwhelmingly important. Okay, when we look at Psalm 116, it says, "I love the Lord because he heard my voice and my supplication." Erica, good to see you. Because he inclined his ear to me. Therefore, I will call upon him. I will call upon him as long as I live. Look at what the psalmist is saying. Look at how the psalmist is saying that there ought to be some level of thanksgiving in your heart while you're there, putting the food together and making sure everything is just right, breaking out your best china. We don't do that anymore. Break out the plasticware, whatever the case may be. You need to recognize that the pains of death have surrounded me, and the pains of Sheol lay hold of me. I found trouble and sorrow. He's saying in the midst of life, it comes with good days, then it comes with bad days. It comes with on days and off days, up days and down days. And in the midst of all of that, because you cannot deny your environment, you cannot deny your situation, you can't deny the fact that, yes, you're going through some issues. Yes, there are some things that are happening that you wish wouldn't. Yes, all of this is happening. All of this is going on. All of this is taking place. But what you've got to come to terms with is that even in the midst of all of this, okay, verse 4 says, "Then I called upon the name of the Lord. Oh Lord, I implore you, deliver my soul." Look at what he says. He says that while I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with, while I'm going through what I'm going through, hey, Tom, how are you? While I'm experiencing the pains of life and disappointments and all of these other things, he said, I know where I can call, because the truth of the matter is, if you really want to know the truth about tonight, there's not a whole lot of people you can call on when you're in trouble. There's not a whole lot of people you can depend on when things aren't going right. Rose, how are you? There's not a whole lot of people who can come to your aid or come to your rescue or be there for you when you really need them, because we live in a time and an age now where people really aren't concerned about one another like they say they are, or the only people that they are concerned about are those within their own little clique or their own little group. But the thing that I love about our God, hey, Cynthia, how are you? The thing that I love about Thanksgiving is the first thing I do is I take a retrospect. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that while I'm so busy wondering, is God going to bring me out? I'm so busy wondering if God's going to bring me through. The reason that I call on the Lord is because he has shown himself faithful. He has shown himself mighty. He has, get this, he has shown himself reliable. Oh, bless his holy name. And for those moments and those times when you go through what you go through and you're feeling what you're feeling and you just drain, because life can drain the life out of you. Life can sap your joy and your hope, and people have a way of stealing your joy and all of the madness that can happen. He says, here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to know. Okay. I called on your name to deliver my soul. And then he turns around in retrospect, when he looks back over all of the things that God has done, when he looks back over how God has brought him out, he says, gracious is the Lord and righteous. Yes, our God is merciful. Oh, do I have anybody? Do I have anybody out here on tonight that knows the Lord is merciful? I mean, he is sure enough merciful, okay, to us, okay? The Lord preserves the simple. And hey, D, how are you? Okay, and he brought me low and he saved me. Return to your rest, oh my soul, for the Lord has dealt bountifully with me. I want you to catch. That's it, Valerie. Retrospect. I need to look back instead of me looking at what's going on and getting encapsulated. Ronald, man, how are you? Instead of being just bent out of shape over where I am, can I just take a moment and look back over the tragedies that did not destroy me? Listen, it might have depressed me a little bit. It might have oppressed me a little bit. It might have made me feel down just a little bit. But when I called on the name of the Lord, something happened. My breakthrough happened. My deliverance happened. The depression had to leave. The oppression had to let me go, because there's power in the name. Is there anybody out here tonight that knows that there's power in the name? And I ain't talking about Buddha. I'm not talking about Hare Krishna. I'm talking about they know that there is power in the name, okay? Because he's dealt bountifully with me. He has, let me ask this question. Can I ask this question? Anybody on here tonight that received the blessings of God and you know you didn't deserve them, but God did it for you anyway? Do I have a couple people? Do I have a couple people out here who can actually say that I know I have not walked right, not been right, not carried myself in such a way, and yet still I'm feeling the joy of the Lord. The joy of the Lord is my strength, and yet still God is merciful to me. He keeps what should happen from happening. He says, you've delivered my soul from death, my eyes with tears, and my feet from falling. Here's what he's done. Have you ever had a moment, Cecile? Did you ever have a moment, Lady Harrison? Did you ever have a moment, Myrna or Linda? Have you ever had a moment, Rose, when you are so overwhelmed by the craziness and the madness that is going on in your life that you just start crying and you're trying to hide it? You're trying to hide the tears. You're trying to hide the depression. You're trying to hide what's going on. And in the midst of all of that, in the midst of everything, he wipes tears from your eye. He, in the midst of your lowest moment, the moment when you felt like saying, that's it, I done had enough, I can't take no more, everything is getting on my nerves, everything is driving me crazy, everybody is on the wrong side of me right now, and yet still He shows me mercy. He keeps me from falling. He keeps me from stumbling. Vernice, did you hear what I said? He keeps me from making a fool out of myself. He keeps me. Do I have anybody out here that can type in the chat? He keeps me. He keeps me. Matter of fact, can I tell you something? He keeps me from me. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. He keeps me from me. I don't need nobody else to make me act a fool. He keeps me from me because I got foolishness inside of me. He keeps me from me. He keeps me from doing things that I want to do, saying things I want to say, doing things to people that I want to do to them. He keeps me from me. Oh, bless his holy name. Okay. But he keeps me from falling. Okay. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. I believe, therefore, I spoke, and I am greatly afflicted. I said in my haste, all men are liars. Look at what the psalmist is saying. The psalmist is saying that I'm so bent out of shape that everybody lies. Nobody can tell the truth. Nobody knows what truth is. Does that not sound awfully familiar? Okay. And so in the midst of this, what he says in the midst of it, because the truth of the matter is, can I talk to y'all for just a second? The truth of the matter is, the psalmist is borderlining on paranoia. You can be hurt so bad by the foolishness and the craziness and the stupidity of people that it creates a paranoia. Everybody hates me. Nobody likes me. Everybody's looking at me. Everybody wants to see me fall. Everybody wants to see me stumble. Everybody wants to see me make a fool out of myself. And what you fail to understand is that even in the midst of the traps and the snares that the enemy tries to use against you, God trips the trap. Jesus, Lord, have mercy. Oh, I wish I'm trying. God will trip the trap before you get there. And that's when he goes through in his mind and looks back over his mind and his life. He says, what shall I render to the Lord for all his benefits toward me? What can I do? Because there's moments in my life where he has done for me what I can't do for myself. He has kept me when I didn't want to be kept. He's provided for me when the barrel had run out. He has been my friend when all of my friends were gone. He has been my solace, my comforter. Hey, Pat, how are you? He has been more than I could ever ask for. As a matter of fact, can I go there? I've disappointed him. I've let him down. I've lied to him. I'm not truly faithful to the Lord, and yet still, here's the shout. He's still faithful to me. He's still faithful to you. He's still faithful in the midst of all of this. And this is the thing that many of us must recognize and understand, that even in the midst of my shortcomings and coming short and not being truthful and not being honest and got proclivities, I got issues, I got problems, I go through deficiencies, my mind is all messed up and toe up, and yet still, Herma, he brings me through. Even in those moments when I thought I had lost my mind, he kept me. What can I render? All these benefits to, can I tell you? Aha, that's what I'm talking about. You running and ain't nobody chasing you. Rebecca, do I have somebody out here that can bless him for just a minute? That's what you have. What can I render? What are his benefits? Minister Marcia, what is his benefits? Sandra, what are his benefits? Joy, when ain't no reason to have none. Peace, when everything is falling apart. Contentment, when everybody else is complaining. Can I keep going? Rest in the midst of turmoil. Oh, What can I render for all of these benefits that God has shown me? Okay, that's overwhelmingly important for us to recognize and to understand all of these. I will take up the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord, because when everything else is to the point of madness and craziness, he keeps me. He says, in the midst of this, here's where we get in trouble. Here's where we get in trouble. He says, and I will pay my vows to the Lord. Now, in the presence of all, look at what he said. You know what he said? He said, God's been so good to me that I'm going to pay my vow. I'm going to quit lying to God. I'm going to quit cheating on God. I'm going to quit shortchanging God. And I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. Leroy, how are you, my friend? He said, in the midst of everything that I've done wrong, when I think about, see, it's the, y'all ready for this? Y'all not ready for it. It's the goodness of the Lord that leads to repentance. When God don't drop the hammer on me, when God don't lift the cover off of me, when God don't tell folk what I say and how I say it and when I say it, when God keeps me, it's his goodness that makes me say, you know what? I gotta love you. I gotta love you, Lord. I gotta love you like you deserve to be loved. I gotta give you some love. I gotta love on you like you deserve to. Oh, bless his holy name. I'm gonna pay my vows. I'm gonna do what I say I'm going to do. Yep, I haven't been faithful. Yep, I haven't been doing things. Yep, I'm out of order. I'm crazy. I'm all of these things that are going on, but yet still he's good to me. Okay. It's all about precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. You know, we read that at funerals, but here's the part that you got to recognize, Linda. Oh Lord, truly I am your servant. Now, wait a minute. How do I know that I am the Lord's servant? Minister Sharp, how do I know that I am his servant? Because, y'all ready for this? I don't think y'all ready for this. He keeps on blessing me. Y'all missed it. He keeps on blessing me. Y'all still missed it. Y'all still missed it. I don't deserve what I got, but I'm grateful because it's still showing up. He keeps on blessing me. As a matter of fact, the residual blessings of the Lord are the fact he done kept my family. he done kept my loved one, my wife, my husband. He's keeping everybody. Everybody's kept. Even when I don't deserve to be kept. Guess what? That's the benefit. Do I have anybody? Do I have anybody? Minister Sharp, do you hear what I'm saying? I'm his servant. I'm his servant, because even in my missteps and my mistakes, he still keeps on blessing me. That's it, Sister Thomas. He don't just bless you a little bit, but I see you, Minister Faye, over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And when you got up this morning, new mercies were waiting on you. When you got up this morning, God's hand was upon you and protected you, as Grandmama said, from danger seen and unseen. All of these things let me know I belong to him. Because you want to know why? It's personal. There's the shout right there. There's the shout. It's personal. What's going on in my life between me and God is personal. He cares for me so much, okay? I am his servant. I am your servant. I am your mother. Whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to do it, because you've done more for me than anybody else ever has. You've been my joy. You've been my strength. You have protected my family. You have kept my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. You have done miraculous and marvelous things. And even in the midst of ignorance and not really knowing what's going on, you still kept me. You didn't just keep me, That's right. It's personal. Oh, y'all not catching that. Y'all not catching that. Why? Because he loosed my bounds. He what had me captive and keeping me from being what God would have me to be. He set me free. Oh, okay. And that's where I want to hang my, that's right. Don't y'all forget Sunday morning I was talking about and preaching about, Lois. It's personal. It's personal. God don't never get stuff mixed up. It's personal. God never gets blessings mixed up. It's personal. God never gets, Minister Mike, God never gets provisions mixed up. It's personal. God never gets blessings and provisions and protection mixed up. It's personal. So that's where he says in verse 17, I will offer to you the sacrifice of thanksgiving. When I think about all that he is and all that he does, when I think about his protective hand of mercy and love that rests upon every one of us day in and day out, when I think about the fact that nobody else could ever love me like he has, nobody else could ever hold me like he has, nobody else understands me like he does. Yes, right, because it's personal. And what do I got to do in the midst of this Thanksgiving season? What shall I render for all of these benefits? What shall I do for all that God has done for me? I will offer unto him sacrifices of thanksgiving. I want to thank you, not in the nursing home. I want to thank him that I'm not in the hospital. I want to thank him that I'm not in the psych ward. I want to thank him that I'm not living under a bridge. I want to thank him that I'm not living in the rescue mission. I wish I had somebody. I want to thank him that I'm not living in the haven of rest. I want to thank him that I'm not destitute. I want to thank him that I might not have everything I want, but bless your name, I got everything that I need. Is there anybody out here who can say, what can I render for all of these benefits? I need to give you the sacrifice of thanksgiving. The sacrifice means that I got to go ahead, Faye, and thank you anyway in the midst of everything that's going on. I got to go ahead and tell you thank you. I might not have a whole lot in my cupboard, but Denise, I got enough to make it. Y'all remember the woman that Jesus came in contact with, and no, it wasn't Jesus. I'm sorry. It came in contact with, and no, and in the midst of it, I'm so excited and I got lost. But in the midst of this, the prophet says, I got it now. The prophet walks up to her as she's gathering sticks. And as she's gathering sticks, the prophet walks up to her and says, what are you doing? And she looks at him and says, where you been? Don't you know there's a drought going on right now? As a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix me a last meal for me and my son. And then we're going to lay down and die. But the prophet turned around and says, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and make me a little cake first. And if you bring it to me in faith, God will show you his power. I'm about ready to run around this basement for just a second. The Bible says when she looked at him and she said, okay, I got a little flour and a little oil. And I'm going to go ahead and give you what you asked for because I believe you're God enough to do it for me. And the Bible says that throughout the entire famine, she never ran out of flour and she never ran out of oil. and her son survived the famine. I want to know, is there anybody here that survived the famine? The famine of not being treated right. The famine of not being respected or understood. The famine that turns around and says that you ain't nobody. The famine that says you ain't gonna make it anymore. All that you're trying to do ain't gonna do you no good. And yet still, I done got excited. And yet still God says, I will provide for you, even when your enemies and your naysayers and your haters and everybody else done wrote you out. You are my servant. Because you're my servant. Because my name is on you. I will offer up sacrifices of praise. I'm going to praise you in the morning. I'm going to praise you in the noonday. I'm going to praise you when the sun goes down. I'm going to praise you when it's good. I'm going to praise you when it's bad. I'm going to magnify you no matter what. Oh, I got some survivors here. Is there anybody who's a survivor and you recognize the only reason I'm here right now is because I belong to God and God belongs to me, and the only reason I'm still in my right mind is because God has been good to me. I will call upon the name of the Lord. It's a strong tower. I will call upon the name of the Lord. So that's my praise. That's how I praise him. That's how I give him glory, Crystal. Minister Michael, that's how I do it. Even when, Myrna, I can't see my way out. Can I get you to do me a favor, please? And I'm going to leave you alone in just a couple of more minutes. Can you put in the chat, because later on somebody going to take a look at this. Can you put in the chat, I'm going to bless him anyhow. I'm going to bless him anyhow. And what do I mean by bless him anyhow? I'm going to bless him anyhow. When I ain't got nothing, when my body is racked with pain, when my mind is confused, I'm going to bless him anyhow. I see you. I see you. I'm going to bless him anyhow. I'm not going to let nobody steal my joy. I'm going to bless him anyhow. No matter how difficult, no matter how trying, no matter how crazy it might be, I'm going to bless him anyhow. I'm going to give him the glory anyhow. I'm going to lift him up anyhow. I'm going to magnify him anyhow. I'm going to glorify him anyhow. Because if it had not been for the Lord on my side, I see y'all as y'all putting it in the chat, where would I be? I wanted to share that with you on tonight. That no matter how difficult it is, doesn't matter whether you ain't got enough money, it doesn't matter about any of that stuff. I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall continually be in my mouth. That's my praise of thanksgiving. And here's what I want you to do. Even when the greedy people come over, even when the folk come over and don't bring nothing but a 6-pack of Pepsi or Coke or whatever the case may be. You need to bless the Lord that they're still here. Oh, I know y'all not catching what I'm saying. Somebody gonna get on your nerves all the time. Somebody's gonna be crazy and simple in your family all the time. But do you know how many people and mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers are burying loved ones right now like never before? And if you're not on your way to put somebody in a cemetery, you need to bless God. I sit back and I look at all of these people who are leaving here like crazy. So when that time comes, and those moments come, bless him anyhow. Listen, I love you, one and all. Thank you so much for giving me this very short period of time with you. I wanted to do it today and not tomorrow so you can have a nice long period of time, so you can appreciate this season of Thanksgiving, this season of being grateful, this season of telling the Lord, I might not be where I want to be, but I thank God I am where I am, because where I am is better off than somebody else. So here's what I want to say. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you. To you, one and all, enjoy your time of sharing food and fellowship. I want you to be blessed. I want you to be whole. But more than that, know that the joy of the Lord is your strength. May God bless you and may he keep you, is our prayer.